The view from here. Moving, changing, growing, creating. Yesterday, I moved out of my apartment into a temporary stay for 3 days. Then I will go to another place for 2 months, where my final destination will be ready. Maybe. I ran into a very good friend of mine on the street yesterday, someone I hadn't seen in a few weeks. With all of the festivities happening in Assisi this week, all of the local business owners are up to their ears in business with tourists, events, programs, and managing it all. "Where are you going? What are you doing?" he asked. I gave him a brief rundown of the apartment that fell through at the last minute. And then Plan B apartment wasn't ready yet as it's still completing reconstruction. Plan C apartment wanted to double the price if I was only taking it for 1 month. I said no, even on principle. Plan D apartment I could have temporarily, even for 2 months, but only after the 4th of the month because it was occupied by the owners who are here from out of town on a holiday visit. Phew, something at last. Now to figure out where I will be for a few days until the 4th when I can move in. All hotel rooms are booked. To the gills, actually. No room anywhere. My bed and breakfast friends all had their rooms booked as well, at least until the middle of the month. Oh dear. I try not to worry about these things because I really do know that they will work out. But I also know that everything that is happening to me in my life is something I've created. I had to have a talk with God. In the background is the fact that I am launching A Course in Miracles beginner study group to start May 1st. Moving day is April 30th. Okay. On May 2nd is a new live global energetic download because I do them once a month on each first Thursday. It requires peace and calm for me, as well as taking care of all the back-end subscriptions and new subscribers. Okay. My friend says to me, "Suzanne, you have to stop moving around. You can't keep going on like this, turning left, turning right, going from here, going to there." I love my friend. I also know that he loves me too, and he wants the best for me. I also recall that he has never moved in his life. He lives in the house he grew up in, restored it, and grew his own family there. 67 years in the same place. Wow, I don't know if I could do that. You're like a gypsy. Pretty soon there won't be any places for you if you keep up like this. I saw in his eyes a misunderstanding. This wasn't what this was about. I have my own spiritual center and know not to judge, not even myself. For, quote, judgment is an attack upon the truth, end quote, as A Course in Miracles teaches. And if I'm judging myself, I will not see the truth. During all my preparations for the Course teaching, I kept hearing over and over how we can create miracles, how our mind is always creating. I love my freedom. The only part that I knew I needed to overcome was fear. When I was editing the audios for the upcoming study group, I came across a line in the Course where Christ says, "The only response to miscreating is healing. All miscreations are a result of unresolved fear." Wow. So there you have it. I had to heal some unresolved fear around where do I sleep? That's essentially a root chakra issue. I blurted out to my friend, "It's been like this since I was a child. Being in a big family, in a small house, my mother would put me here, then a new baby would come and I'd be sent there. The kids were growing and I'd change rooms and change rooms and change rooms." He looked at me with some kind of sympathy. A pattern here maybe? I didn't mind much at the time. It was just a bit disturbing. What if I like changes all the time? It's stimulating and new for me always, which I love. So the problem wasn't the changing. The challenge was the fear that this time I wasn't going to be all right, which Christ would call in the Course a fallacy. Miracles always happen, especially when unresolved fears become resolved. I did a lot of my own inner work and especially used one of the more recent global energetic downloads called the primaries to help. I used the color red over and over and over again to fill and fulfill the promise of stability, security, and a good bed to sleep in. That night and the next day, I had to sleep for hours more than I normally do. I felt I had so much to do, but sleep was just demanding its due. And for those of you who are accustomed to giving or receiving high-level energy healing, you will know this is the mind and the body's way of making the necessary adjustments so that you are risen to your next level of frequency and vibration. I even got a little concerned about this and called out to Christ. Do I really need to be sleeping so much? I've got so much to do. And his answer was quite clear. For those of you who are healing the root chakra systems for all of humanity, is a few hours more of sleep so much to ask? No. I was humbled, and I understood. You are never just healing your own stuff. Whatever progress you achieve, you are doing it for countless others as well. It may not look or feel like that when you are in the midst of it, but rest assured that this is the truth. You are a healer, and as you heal, so shall you heal others as well. The next day, this idea came to me to call Plan F apartment. Yes, there were that many, but Maria said that she couldn't come to open it up for me. Her brother just went into the hospital. Why don't you call Giordano? She said. He's got rooms. So I did. And he did have a room for me, all nice and new, and this would fill the gap for the next 3 days. I'm in. It's just across the street, and so moving there will be quite easy. Everything always was and always will be right in place. Something to remember. Many blessings. Suzanne.